that
it's good.
borrowing
It's
money.
good, yeah, it is.
So so that's a big cool thing.
Yeah, I also don't see a problem if you can somehow guarantee you will return bitcoins to me with interest. I will lend you those bitcoins, right? So maybe it's not that you're complaining that this cannot happen. Maybe you're complaining that new money can be created by this.
Yeah.
And partially, I probably agree with you. This is necessary because this is how the current economical system is built up, right? But here we have a problem because I think what we are discussing here now is not whether Bitcoin is something positive or negative. It's basically a clash of two approaches, right? And I'm listening to this a lot, right? And I'm listening from people that have studied economics and stuff, and I don't feel confident to discuss this because I like to discuss stuff where I feel competent, right? And I don't in economics, right? So the only thing I can say is I don't know why it needs to be like that, right? And it hasn't always been like that, has it? Right? It hasn't always been like that the bank created the money when they lent it out. And we used to have a amount of money that was in circulation, right? And it's a really a problem because I cannot discuss this with anyone because everyone that knows economics was taught in this exact system. And they would always say, this is the only possible system. Well,
Sure.
sorry, I don't know.
I disagree with it. I disagree with it.
No, actually what you're talking is the Keynesian model, and there's an alternative, the Austrian School of Economics model. Now, we from the Coin Association had that talk, that was Coin Talk number 1 in Graz. We should be having that talk online for members in, a few weeks. So if you did sign up, you will get a notification that that talk is up. Yeah, and there you can see what the difference is between monetarism, Keynesianism, and the Austrian School of Economics. And watering down money, I didn't sign up for that. Yeah? Watering down money, that is basically money creation. I didn't sign up for that.
Not necessarily. If you have underemployment, then newly created money will not cause inflation.
I did not sign up for that contract.
Okay.
I earned my money, and what I earned as a value, I want to keep it as a value to give it to my children and to my children's children, or to whoever I want to give. I did not sign that social contract.
Okay.
Okay. That's my point of view, not Coin Association.
And additionally, he says that it has to be Bitcoin or Ethereum. So why you can't do that? And also, I see the case here. Let's say it's not Bitcoin. Let's say something else. Because the whole thing is programmable money, right? And it's the time to actually change something here because like the financial system is still working like 50 years ago without the internet, and or more or less, let's say. And so let's just say banks can in the future, and they are super slow. They are like a whole retirement system, and each grandma has to be convinced, slowly. And then you have your deposit there, and then you have your money there, which is programmable on your bank. So let's say right now, when we transfer it, you have your wallet, and it's on your name, right? It's not like an anonymous wallet, but it's not. This is like out of the anonymous way and the decentralization way. It's more the Ripple way, and it's more the way we just use the technology to do stuff instantly, global, and without fees. And yeah, but we take away the other part because banks still want to be in there. I think this is one solution for banks. But I don't think we should do it as a one-on-one conversation or for-on-one conversation because like there are also more questions.
What about the other currencies? You talk only about Bitcoin, but out there are plenty of them. So how do you connect it with this?
What do you mean with this?
Like Ripple, Little Coin.
Yeah, I mean, this is just what I just mentioned. I mean, for example, I'm a bigger fan of Next than Bitcoin. But for right now, where we are, let's say the time, and we're still with like baby steps, I would refer it as a whole programmable money or crypto coin thing because there's no system that is good for mass adoption yet. So I don't think it's a question right now when we have to talk here bank or the monetary system, what is good to refer to Bitcoin or to Next or to Litecoin or whatever it is. It's just there are things developing, and the topic is what will be there in the future. For me, it can be something that has not even thought about, you know, something that will come up in the next 10 years or something. I don't know, but programmable money will be the future, I think.
Yeah, what about the others?
Okay. In my mind, I don't view it as Bitcoin as the only cryptocurrency that we should rely on. I can only time will tell. In my mind, I firmly believe that the underlying technologies, which are blockchain and public cryptography, will provide the infrastructure and necessary means and technology to innovate and to build the future financial services industry.
To build the next way.
Well, whatever. I mean, the current financial services system, it's a joke.
And when you ask someone from your friends who are not that into tech and stuff, just explaining the internet, they probably won't. They don't have to, but they use it all every day. So I think it's the same with the blockchain technology. It will be adapted into our everyday life, but people won't know that they're actually using it. Or they don't know what TCP/IP is, but they're using it. And what you just said, the services that you can build on this innovation is endless. So yeah, I think this will be the future.
Also, another comparison is that, for example, since Bitcoin has been around since 2009, it has been up. So the uptime is 100%. There's very few banks in this world that run 24/7 or real-time banking. Your bank in Slovenia closes down at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and they do AOP, automatic data processing. So they calculate, they do everything, so they're ready to do the next business day in the morning. They don't work on Saturdays, they don't work on Sundays. This is ridiculous today. We're in the 21st century, we have very powerful computers. Everybody wears a smartphone, which is a great computer, very powerful computer. And you have a bank that needs to shut down every evening to calculate what?
The projects cannot send email on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think you wanted an answer from each one of us. So we want before that, I'm just going to mention that, yeah, you can do that until 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Slovenian bank, except if in a certain Bundesland of Germany it's a banking holiday, because Slovene banks follow German banking holidays when it comes to availability. You know? So that's really but okay, to give you a really short answer, if I replace the term Bitcoin now, and I talk about these things and I have these pens and everything with the term cryptocurrency, which is basically why I'm here, because I'm not that emotionally attached to Bitcoins, it would be the message would be less clear and less people would follow that. So that's why I use the term Bitcoins, but in general, you know, with technology, the cryptocurrency, that's what's important.
Yeah, so what, a question to the audience. So why do you think that the Slovenian banks follow German bank holidays?
Because we have German banks. Come on.
No. It's a Slovenian bank. It's not a German bank.
Just
Formally, legally, we have Slovenian banks. Why Slovenian banks follow German banking holidays? Huh? What all the computers are over there? Computers run 24/7 today, right? Do we have a computing technology that can run 24/7? Why do we follow German banking holidays?
Because German
I can answer. I will answer. Because the clearing system, the intrabank clearing system, runs on German banking system. We're a sovereign country, and we run our intrabank clearing system on German computers, on German system, right? That's the way to go.
I think the other system might be worse. But let me answer about altcoins. I think, about Bitcoin, who knows if it's going to be, if it will prevail in future, but it's definitely the coin that will have the same, it's going to eat the Bitcoin, so it will have the same thing that Bitcoin has and some others which are way better. But besides, but other coins which are clones are shit, so don't look at them. Because there's no real value in it. And Bitcoin is so fucking more popular than all the other litecoins or altcoins. So that just doesn't make sense. But you should take put some attention in some as blockchain technology as technology. So that's interesting. And also maybe Ethereum and Ripple kind of coins, which are not actually clone coins.
Ripple then is probably maybe a little bit option as well.
Yeah, it's decentralized exchanging, not so it's different.
So basically, one last question: do you believe that the people will take the responsibility back from banks, from state, from church to their hands and try to be responsible for money to transfer and to do everything?
No, I think the company is going to use this technology to introduce to people, but with one very big difference, that you can take all the money at once from your bank and get it back out. But otherwise, I think there's still going to be centralized thing that it's going to, at least like it's looking like that right now, and internet's looking exactly the same, which is so fucking decentralized. It's not. It's a few companies that's running internet right now. So what would internet be without Google, without Facebook, without maybe some other companies? So, and I think it's going to be pretty similar. So there's going to be a few companies which will act as maybe a similar thing to bank, at least in the perception of user. But with very big difference that you can put all the money from this bank and take it with you to maybe to Dominican Republic.
Do you have a new question?
Yeah.
Just
Short on the answers.
I just want to add something here. When I just mentioned that you can just banks can adopt it and put it in their account. Actually, this is what has to be done kind of from rest of the ocean, because most people are very afraid of money. Not I mean like to have money, but to manage their whole money thing, everything around. I really think that most of the people will get sweaty when it's like, okay, imagine they have the whole fortune in their own hands, and they do something wrong, and then they need somebody who's reliable for it, who vouch for it, and I don't think you can ever take this away, because this is like the pathology of the human beings, or our society right now. I can't see changing this in the near future. Although we have a big educational part you just mentioned.
Okay, so finally here's my question. I believe that most of the Bitcoin users today wants that the price once gets stable. What do you think? That will ever get stable?
I started buying Bitcoins when they were more expensive than now, so I hope the price will not stabilize yet. Right. But yeah, I mean, this is mostly common knowledge. Everyone agrees that for certain aspects, for Bitcoin cryptocurrencies to be useful, such that the exchange rate should stabilize. At least then we wouldn't be able to measure wealth or value in Bitcoins instead of converting it to euros.
My question is same on that same topic, so let me put my question and we can answer. But Reload is one of the super smart option at present has, and I really congratulate. But individuals, I don't think they will be holding. I mean, in my view, in my point of view, they will be holding fiat and bitcoins and exchanges. Maybe B2B businesses, they may be holding because they want to take add-on advantage of this price volatile, and therefore reload is a very perfect example to cut off the volatile risk and straight away profit from their fee, whatever the commission provisions. But my question, I just wanted to ask you and check back in with you and see if you have something in pipeline to also support the multi-model generators.
Yeah, so this was a question to me about the reload service. And yeah, of course, I mean, we were discussing this today before the presentation. We said, okay, the topic is how to live without banks, right? And yeah, reload solves this. You don't need to have your money on bank, you have it on exchange. But I'm not sure if this is currently solving anything, because I'm not sure who is, regardless of what you think about banks, who's more confident in an exchange than in a bank, right? I mean, I had coins on blocks, and so we all know how that went, right? So it's not really solving this problem. But you know, I'm using reload, and it's not a big problem. You know, I have 250 euros in an exchange. It's not a big amount of money, and once I spend that, I just reload it back. So it's limiting your exposure. So that's the key word. You know? I don't think that for most of the users, having those small amounts is that big a problem. You know, probably you have sometimes this amount in your wallet, and it can get nicked at any moment by someone. Not in Ljubljana, probably, but somewhere else. Now, asking about the other question you had, if you have something in pipeline where reload will be able to function on these changing addresses. I hope by that you meant the how do you call it, deterministic wallet, which means that the BIP32 protocol, which gives you this wallet which changes its sending address every time you basically create a transaction. Yeah, of course you have this in the pipeline, but reload is currently the phase where we want to get additional users, the proof of concept to have some interest from the community, and then we move on with additional features, so this is one of them. And it's possible, the user will have to give us the seed for creating the public addresses, but that's it, right? So the user will no longer subscribe with his single wallet address, which is currently the restriction, but he will subscribe with his seed, from which we can generate or determine all the addresses that belong to the same wallet. Right? That's why I use the term wallet, not address. But if you have multiple wallets and you change each one of them programmably, like a BTM or something like that, then that's an issue, right? Because there's no connection between them.
Okay. Thank you.
Just I think that cryptocurrencies, the fact that they're open source,